One ranking for the album, Gromit Say Cheese. Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my Wallace and Gromit ranking of the sixth movies starring the most lovable plasticine duo in all of animation, and the biggest cheese fans in the universe. And uh, boy, have Wallace and Gromit had quite a journey over the past 36 years now. And it is fitting I'm doing this ranking on the 20th anniversary of Curse of the Were-Rabbit and the 30th of A Close Shave. So without so further ado, if you want to know my ranking of Aardman's most recognizable franchise, and then just to keep watching. Also, before we begin today's ranking, special shouts out to my best pal and budder Stephen Mead from iQuadra 5 for very kindly and generously lending me this Gromit, a toy who has been my faithful canine companion throughout my Wallace and Gromit's marathon. So special thanks to him and his family. At number 6, just to confirm, there are no bad Wallace and Gromit movies, but so even in the sixth place at the bottom, I still enjoy A Matter of Loaf and Death. It is debatable which is the weakest, this or Vengeance Most Foul, but I'd give the slight edge to Vengeance Most Foul because at least Wallace wasn't as unlikable and the plot didn't rehash elements from the wrong trousers like this one did. Though it is sad that this is the final vocal performance from Peter Sallis as Wallace before his death in 2017. May he rest in peace. Lovely to see Gromit finally get some puppy lover with Fluffles, his poodle girlfriend. Wish that they kept her in the franchise going forward, as she's an even more likable poodle character in animation than Georgette from Oliver and Company, and she, like Gromit, is the real hero of this movie. And but I just wish Paella Bakewell wasn't the twist villain serial killer so predictably enforced. I mean, you could have had Paella be related to the serial killer, but have her play a different role in the story. The serial killer could have rivaled Victor Quartermain and Preston Feathers McGraw as another intimidating Wallace and Gromit antagonist, but they could but they messed up. But at number 5, the most recent Wallace and Gromit adventure, Vengeance Most Foul, and this is by no means a foul return to the franchise. No, if anything, they acclaimed a return, and I am happy that this movie is seen as the movie that saved Wallace and Gromit after a 16-year absence. I guess that's why people are being generous to it, because we haven't had Wallace and Gromit in so long. But for me, as a sequel to The Wrong Trousers, it ain't a patch on The Wrong Trousers, not even close. I mean, it isn't as dark, and its climax doesn't compare to The Wrong Trousers whatsoever. And while I am happy we have a second feature length film for the duo, the movie still felt uh, badly paced because of that tedious first half. But once Feathers does break out of jail, that's where things get exciting, and plus the Ben Whitehead as Wallace. He did Peter Sallis Prowls, and PC McAgee. I mean, she is yet another strong Wallace and Gromit female character in the library of the strong women that the duo have met. I just wish Wallace and Gromit could have had a romance in this one. Number 4 of the very first Wallace and Gromit movie, A Grand Day Out, and it's one of the most inspirational and most impressive student films ever made. This was Nick Park's first ever passion project and his first ever movie. And while uh, progress may have been slow on it to begin with, luckily meeting Aardman did help him finish the movie faster, and the rest is history. He became Aardman's most well-known director and animator after this. So one could look at A Grand Day Out as the Snow White and the Toy Story of Aardman in how revolutionary it was. And I mean, Wallace and Gromit going to the moon to collect cheese. It's a plot that's out of this world ridiculous. So it is the plot that makes the least sense of the films, but you don't care because it's the world of Wallace and Gromit, where dogs can be humanized, and so the moon would be made of cheese in their universe. The rocket building scene is still one of the funnest building montages I've ever seen in a movie, and this movie made you feel empathy for a cooker and gave a cooker emotions. That is an impressive feat. At number three, where the franchise really uh, found its audience and peaked, The Wrong Trousers. Yes, most people would rank this in the top two Wallace and Gromit movies. Some would even claim it to be the best. Peter Sallis and Nick Park even both agreed this is their favourite Wallace and Gromit film. And if it is your favourite, it's an awesome pick because the Wrong Trousers has stepped everything up from A Grand Day Out. The plots are being far more gripping and more mature, and the action being so much more confident, and the animation production values are certainly were given a great makeover. Just look at the credits of The Wrong Trousers, and you could see how much bigger the production team was behind it in comparison to that of A Grand Day Out. Feathers McGraw is one of the GOAT Wallace and Gromit and Aardman antagonists, so it was only a matter of time before he was going to return, and Gromit is the real star of the show here. He shows that silent movie protagonists are doable, and I mean, and what can I praise about that train finale that hasn't already been praised? It's the definition of amazing. This was also the first Wallace and Gromit movie to win an Academy Award for the Best Animated Short, so brilliant teamwork, lads. At number two, Wallace and Gromit. At number two, I know A Close Shave is not everybody's favourite short, but it is mine from a nostalgia bias. A Close Shave. I don't think you can get any higher of a Wallace and Gromit short than this absolute masterpiece. And I mean, what is not to love in A Close Shave? It is a pitch perfect finale to the original Wallace and Gromit trilogy, giving us it more than triples the number of characters we've seen in the first two shorts by giving us not only our duo but Wendelina, Preston, and Sean the sheep himself, including a hilarious flock of sheep that act as one character. Get yourselves organized down there. And this was also the first Wallace and Gromit movie to uh, start the tradition in the franchise of Wallace and Gromit setting up their own business. Wendelin makes for a wonderful, headstrong first love interest for Wallace, and she's not afraid to stand up to Preston when she sees that Preston has become pure evil. Preston being my second favourite Wallace and Gromit's antagonist. I mean, this cyber dog would give even the T-1000 from Terminator 2 a run for its money, and that's high stakes finale is electrifying, being the entire second half of the movie with breaking Gromit out of jail. In fun fact, those sparks from Sean had to be added in digitally, uh, and A Close Shave would be my number one, if not for Wallace and Gromit's grand return 10 years after this one. And the number one Wallace and Gromit movie is, you guessed it, The Curse of the Were-Rabbits. OMG. I adore every freaking ounce of this stop motion all-time classic, and it's it's one of the greatest animated movies ever made in general. Taking 5 years to make, and you can totally see why. And for the only cinematic re-release Wallace and Gromit movie, for the only DreamWorks one, it's it's still Aardman's greatest achievement. I love how Aardman existed to DreamWorks despite having created differences with them. That's the movies they made with them should be kept British. And if you thought the sets were impressive in the shorts, the sets in Curse of the Were-Rabbit are off the scale, especially Tossington Hall. Tossington Hall being the grandest sets ever built for a stop motion movie. Were-Rabbit being one of the most inventive and yet most terrifying concepts for a comedy horror. Seriously, when if you came across a 10-foot tall humanoid rabbit, wouldn't you shit your pants? And this is also one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my entire life, with jokes like, "Kiss my artichoke and just take a look at my wife's brassicas." This may be the only PG-rated Wallace and Gromit movie just for its innuendo, which is bold. Which Antipester is my favourite career Wallace and Gromit has, and Lady Tossington being my favourite Wallace and Gromit character of all time. Yeah, Helena, Bellatrix and Voldemort are in this movie. Helena Bonham Carter and Ralph Fiennes appearing in this just before they would appear in Harry Potter. And yeah, Victor Quartermain, I don't care what people say, he's my favourite Wallace and Gromit antagonist. He is the perfect rival for Wallace for Totty's affections, and Philip, his ferocious dog, is the perfect adversary for Gromit. And did anybody find the townspeople dicks how they wanted the poor were-rabbit slaughtered just for their vegetable competition, whereas Totty, she was the one that showed compassion for the creature. And the stop motion animation to this day is the greatest you will ever see on film. And to edit this movie, I'm sure must have taken forever, but boy, was it's worth it. You can see why this was the first Wallace and Gromit movie I ever reviewed, and it's one 100% deserved the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. First stop motion movie to ever get that award. I am proud to call Curse of the Were-Rabbit the goat of the Wallace and Gromit movies. Well done, we did it, haha! Wallace and Gromit's ranking finished, and I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. And what's your ranking of the 6 Wallace and Gromit movies? I am most curious to know because rankings do vary, even though I expect to see Curse of the Were-Rabbit at the top of most people's list. Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I review Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And remember, movies are... Bye, guys.